listening to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Welcome back, Charleston, to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. I always like to take a little bit of time just to say thank you to those of you that listen to this program and rely on the information within it to help shape your perception of the real estate market. I do my best to deliver fact, and my experiences as somebody that's been selling real estate in Charleston for 13 years, that's done about 1,000 transactions, and that wants you to have realistic expectations about this market so that you can win. You can get the best deal on the home that you buy. You can get the most amount of money on the home that you sell and have a good experience in the process. And so what I want to talk about now is the number one mistake I believe sellers are going to make when they sell their home in 2019. And a few other things that you can do about that to prevent this from happening. But the number one mistake I believe sellers are going to make when they sell their home in 2019 is overpricing their home. If you tuned into the show earlier, I was reading off some stats that tell you the difference between the asking price and the sales price. If you look at, $750,000 to $1 million in Mount Pleasant as an example, the difference between the original listing price and the final sales price is $90,000 or 11%. And so that is a huge number. We're getting it wrong by 11% industry-wide. That's a function of agents telling sellers what they want to hear to get their listing with the assumption that, hey, now that we're on the market for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or however long it is, now this seller might be more open to a conversation about reducing their price. And I'm also here to say that this is not all the agent's fault. There are plenty of sellers out there that are hard-headed about the price of their house. I'm not going to take a loss, or I've invested this much, or whatever the case might be. When I go and I price a property, I am very upfront with the seller and telling them that you are relying on me to be a professional. And I'm not necessarily going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to deliver the truth. And there might be times where we disagree, and that's okay. But if you want to be able to make informed decisions about this real estate market, then I need to have leeway to tell you the truth without judgment. And so the biggest challenge I see in our market right now is overpriced listings. About 60% of the listings we sell were previously on the market with another real estate agent. So we have to go in and first of all, they're not very pleasant conversations to have because the sellers are already irritated. They've been on the market for 6 months or a year or sometimes years with multiple agents, and they just have a bad taste in their mouth. They are under the assumption at this point that all agents are the same, and agents do not do what they say they're going to do. And there are plenty of them that don't, but there are plenty of them that do. And I like to think I'm one of them. I come up with a plan designed to rebrand the property, reintroduce it to the MLS, price it correctly. Maybe we address some condition-based issues that you've neglected or that other agents have told you, that's not a big deal. We don't have to worry about that. When in reality it is. And they're just trying to take the path of least resistance to get your house on the market. And then, of course, market the you-know-what out of the property. So many agents out there, especially as this market shifts from a seller's market to a normal market, and it takes a little longer to sell a home. It becomes a little more challenging to sell a home. The first thing agents are going to do, because this is how agents are coached, this is not just my opinion, this is actual coaching, is to start leaning up on your expenses. What can you cut out of your business? Are there marketing expenses that are no longer necessary? Find your best 1 or 2 marketing expenses and keep those and ditch everything else. You're going to have listing agents out there that are going to start providing you with less and less and less exposure. They're going to invest in fewer tools and systems and ways of exposing your listing to the market. It's just going to exacerbate the problem. So when you're interviewing a real estate agent, take precautions to make sure you're not being taken advantage of or being sold a bag of goods when in reality you could do much, much better if you just interviewed more than one agent or asked them some tough questions. And I also think that monitoring the market and the feedback and the lack thereof is going to be extremely important. It's always important. It's just that listing agents very rarely communicate with their sellers about what's happening in the market and what buyers are saying or not saying. How are we reading between the lines when properties are being shown? The other thing that I want to mention just very quickly is the difference between discount brokerages and full-service real estate agents. I think as this market shifts, sellers are going to maybe question discount brokerages a little bit more. Maybe they look into a little bit more and they say, rather than paying an agent 6 or 7%, I'm just going to hire this person for $500 and put it on the MLS and save myself some money because the market's shifting and blah, 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 whatever. There's a variety of reasons why sellers go with discount brokerages, but I'm here to tell you that as time goes by, it is going to become more challenging to sell your house. So time is of the essence. I would not wait and I would not gamble on a fraction of what can be done by a full-service real estate agent to get you the most money possible. Because as we know, interest rates are likely going to go up. Prices are flatlining. Demand is coming down a little bit. You're going to sell your home for more money now than when everybody else catches on to what's shifting in the market and put their home on the market. And we all of a sudden have this flood of listings in your particular neighborhood, which means have to do something competitive to be the person that the buyer chooses to make an offer on. So just be aware of that. So when we come back, I'm going to talk about what you need to know if you're going to buy a house in 2019 and the mistakes that you may likely make and how to prevent them from happening. So stick around. This is the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA. And of course, reach out to me if you're thinking of selling your home and you want to learn more about my team's real estate incentives. Our number is 843-345-1273 or go to listingsincharleston.com.
Hear the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show every Saturday morning at 9 and each Sunday morning at 10 on 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.